Periphery is a band that has made some quick progress in their time of around a decade now. Yeah, they've been around for about a decade already, and they've made some tremendous progress in their ascension into being, a name that's often mentioned in the metal community, which they have done quite nicely. And with their recent release before this new album, Select Difficulty, they proved that they can be they're relevant. They got the ideas set in place with their genres of gent, progressive metal. This is a band that has a bit of texture to it. Some compositional ideas that mold together into quite the formula that they have creative and mastered potentially with already. And with Periphery 4 Hail Stand, which came out back on April 5th, they are now able to express creative freedom. That's right. With this album, this was the first release without Sumerian Records, which they left last year, and they released it through their independent label, 3 Dot Records, and they were able to do whatever they wanted to. So, what did we end up getting? What was on their mind? What did they want to do? Sounds like we could be heading in the direction of some great things, or we could be going backwards. Who knows? 9 tracks from this album, 64 minutes. You're gonna probably know I'm going with this one already. Only 9 tracks with 64 minutes. Calls for maybe some long songs. There is indeed a couple of long songs on this album. The opening and closing tracks are almost 27 minutes total in general. Yeah, this album opens up with a near 17-minute hitter Reptile, which is quite an interesting start. That's already a quarter of the album right here. I think the idea of having this happen, I've seen this before with some albums, like with Porcupine Trees, The Sky Moves Sideways, that opening up being 19 minutes long. But Reptile delivers a lot in that span of time. There's a lot of different forms, different sections. The pacing is one thing to note that's absolutely great. I love how they paced the song, how they kind of took their time with things and they just kind of gently got into it. Some bands, like in the gen or metalcore, deathcore scene, they're kind of just quick about things. And Periphery, their form expansion, like they're kind of known for already, or should I say they're already actually known for, it makes for some interesting songs. And some people are thinking, well, how in the world can they do it? Just listen to it and you'll find out. That's how you know how they do this. Meticulous pacing is one thing that I'm already noticing, like I was mentioning. Also, the riffing in this song is quite powerful. The simple chords, the vocals, everything sounds so powerful. It's projected with such force that it's already getting my attention. And I like how this song kind of oscillates. You have the heavier sections, and then it kind of goes down a little bit, and around the, let's say around 8-9 minute mark, start getting back to the heavy riffing. I like how it kind of breaks down around the 10-minute mark of the song. Back to kind of a slower pace, and then back to some simple riffing. The song closes out with some ambience, and A Reptile is a great opener. Phenomenal already. That's a quarter of the album, as I was saying. I think it's well delivered, and great job with him for pulling that off, because that is a risky move a little bit. It can be, could have gone wrong. I don't think it could have opened it up with a much better song than Reptile. But we lead to a song like Blood Eagle. Blood Eagle is a ferocious riff hitter. Probably one of the most ferocious songs I think I've ever heard. This is a riff machine. This is super, super heavy. The thick texture of the song speaks for itself. I love how intense they get with this song. If you were to blast this on full volume, you'd probably cause a small earthquake, honestly. Compared to that intensity. I mean, the riffing with this song, it ain't just bland. There's some attitude behind it. There's some kind of movement behind it. I love how just angry the song gets. I mean, the breakdown is awesome. This whole song feels like it's an intense, stretched out breakdown. And it ain't in the pacing too. The pacing is once again something that I like. I like how it's a brutal, slow pace. It's very, very good. I really love it. We speed things up with Church Burner. This is, I believe, the shortest song on the album, and under 4 minutes. And this song just gets right to the gate with the riffing. Once again, it's very, very intense with the ferocious vocals, as we also saw with Blood Eagle. The blast beats going on with this song make it very, very intense. I love the drive that's happening behind the song. Calls for just another Another brutal song, another great song. It doesn't sound all the same either. They're kind of, I like how they're kind of going with different things here. The pacing's different with this one. It's a little bit faster. It's a bit more tense. I like how they're kind of choosing their things a little bit different with this one. Now we get towards the end of the song, and it kind of, it closes out with a nice little outro there, which I like there, which leads into one of the more, I wouldn't say melodic songs in the album. You could say melodic, more ambient tracks. Maybe Garden in the Bones, which is a near 6-minute cut. Very great song. Starts off with a nice atmospheric melodic sound with some just simple like riff, like nice little riffs there. Not too loud. The sounds just balance so well. That's another thing I'm liking too. The Dynamo C already is proving to be positive. Very, very well done. Production's already just mastered with nice quality. So we have great quality going on here as well. But Garden of the Bones proves to be just a nice track that has nice oscillation to it. And the song itself, it's like it seems like it's effortless. I just don't know how in the world they do it. And the breakdown, you feel the emotion with it, it just kind of makes you move. It's a very swift, swift movement, I should say. Very cool. I don't know. This is a great song. I've been repeating it for quite some time. I've been repeating a lot of these songs for quite some time. But we get to It's Only Smiles. This is an interesting song. It starts off with like a little synth intro, and then we go into one of the more melodic tracks in the album. Again, this is more of a melodic song overall. You do hear some heavy percussion towards the end of it, but I like how they kind of take things and kind of make things a little less heavier in general with the guitar tone. How we had the first 3 songs especially be extraordinarily intense. Which I said the second and third songs, but Reptile served its own right of being intense, just a slower kind of stretched out intensity. But It's Only Smiles proves once again they can make that. I wouldn't call this even a transition song. This is just another good track that flows well with the album. I kind of like how they make things differently. You kind of have that unpredictability with that creative freedom. They're now able to express. They're able to make whatever they want to, like I was saying, and they're just putting it right there on the map. Like, hey guys, this is what we're gonna give you, and freaking cool, to be honest. Follow Your Ghost. We can return to the heaviness. Drop a lot of A notes, a lot of low A notes being played on this song, and that makes for a very dark song on this one. Follow Your Ghost. Like with the song itself, how it is constructed, I like how it kind of the title track how the track name represents how the song plays out. It kind of feels like you are following your own ghost. You're kind of just like, it's like one of those kind of weird illusions. You kind of have it. Well, I mean, tomorrow's Halloween anyway, so what gives? But this is one of those songs that it's very intriguing. It's a very catchy song. Let's just put it that way. And I don't know what else to say about it. I like just how this song plays out. It's another great track on the album. I mean, we're two-thirds of the way through the album. We have a lot of great material. I haven't found really anything wrong yet with this album at all. I don't really. There just is nothing wrong so far. Crush is the next song. This is where unpredictability really becomes a factor again, because this song is very devoid of like the heaviness. You have heaviness, but it's in a different way. It's like a synth, like, what do you call it, pop? What do you want to call it, like a synth club remix, it sounds like, of a song, but it's not obviously a remix, it's the actual song itself. I like how that goes. It's like one of those kind of jam tracks you kind of just groove to. It's like one of those groove dance synth spacey tracks. I don't know how in the world they did it, to be honest, with the ideas that they come up with this record so far have been absolutely outstanding. It's like you don't even know what to say at first, but then you kind of develop that thought process, but it's still very hard to even develop that thought process because there's just so much being thrown at you, and they're kind of making it not all at once. They're making things, it's not jarring, it's not disjointed, it's very well flowed, I think. I like how they just go with the roller coaster of things. Crush, overall though, a heavy song in its own different way. The lyrics reflected too, it's just that connection's made. The last minute and a half of the song is like a play being played out, like with the orchestral kind of thing. There is some orchestral stuff in this album. This is where it kind of comes into play at one point. They had it slightly in the beginning of Reptile, but man, this song closes out quite unique in a unique way, and it's freaking cool. Too beautiful. Sentient Glow is next. This is more of a song that they kind of ease things up just a little bit. It's kind of like no, let's ease things up. I'm taking that back. This is more of a metalcore song in my opinion. I kind of get a Killswitch Engage vibe with this song, and that's actually pretty cool, because, like I said, going back to the theme of unpredictability, you just kind of like, wow, you have that metalcore kind of vibe when you listen to this song, and the riffing just speaks for itself. Once again, the sound's crunchy. It's very, very, the texture is just, it's all there. It really, really is. I like how Sentient Glow ends and transitions into Satellites, which is 9.5 minutes long, which is the final song on the album. Satellites for the first 4 minutes is an ambient, spacey feel. I like how there's some different little time signatures at some points, especially with the percussion around the 3-4 minute mark. Then they kind of launch into simple, heavy riffs towards the middle of it, and they kind of let off a little bit, then they kind of get back on the gas slowly with it, but kind of in a movement that feels like we're closing the record, like we're in closure mode. And Satellites really does it. It's like you're orbiting the last realm of whatever. I don't know. It's up to you what to imagine with that one. But all in all, Satellites closes off. It kind of tapers off around the 8-minute mark. It kind of goes back to the heaviness a bit. Then it tapers off for the final time to close a freaking massive album. What do we have here? We have an album that speaks volumes that I couldn't even still explain to you. This is an album that shows that creative freedom can take you so many miles ahead of the game. Like I talked about with Devin Townsend, with his creative intelligence within Path, how it was so incredibly insane with what he was able to pull off. Periphery just did the same thing, except they just launched madness and also ambient at the same time. What score do I give this? Well, let's just say this. This is an album that does take a couple of listens to really understand, and you're not going to remember everything the first listen, obviously. There's so much happening, but it's so good. You have so much there, so much here, there, everywhere. It's being loaded in the correct way, too. I don't know how much better you can make this album. I tried, honestly, my hardest to figure out what could be wrong with this album. I thought it would be the song It's Only Smiles, but in reality, that song, the melodic notes and stuff, how it kind of carries on with its own thing, each song being its own thing, there's nothing to say that's wrong about it. Well, all in all, this is a perfect score. That's right, I just said it. This is a perfect score. This is 100 out of 100. This is where do you even begin with this album? How do you find a flaw in this album? How do you? Is it because people's patience are low? Maybe. Is it because people are into this kind of music? Maybe. That's just how it is. This is an album that is terrific. It's going right now. It's first place. I don't think it's going to change. Spoiler alert. I'm not sure why I'm spoiling it. I mean, you kind of already get the hint. With it being 100 out of 100, this is the first ever perfect score on an album I've given. Tool with 96, now with Periphery 4, Hail Stain is 100 out of 100, perfect. A+. Periphery did the most amazing job of the year so far. But we still have some more music to go. One album in particular I am curious about that could challenge this one is Cow Decapitation with Death Atlas. That's coming out November 29th. That could challenge this album. Heard the first 2 singles. It's looking like it. Looking like it's going to challenge that one. This is going to be a very competitive list of top 40 albums of the year. Do not miss it. Near the end of December, which is coming up in 2 months. Incredibly, I cannot believe 2019 is going by so fast. Once again, Periphery. Perfect album. I did not find a single flaw with this one. If you would like to share your thoughts, please comment below. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on this album. If you didn't actually like the album, tell me why. I'd like to know. I'm interested. Let's have a conversation. Please like the video and subscribe if you're new. I'll catch you guys again sometime soon. Not sure what album review I'm going to be doing next. I probably might be doing a video where I do rapid reviews, maybe of 5 albums at a time or something, so I can get through these reviews faster. Stay tuned for that. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. See you guys later.